Oh, BKB, time for the guided practice. So hope you enjoyed the short lesson today. We have 5 more problems, and then that's all you got to hear of me for today at least. Unless you have questions, then email me, send me a message on Remind, whatever you need to do. Okay, we're dealing more with the Pythagorean Theorem. And just another reminder for virtual students. In the Google Forms, we would type the square root of, let's say, 3 as square root of 3. Don't just tell me 3. That'd be wrong. Wrong. Make sure you say square root of 3. Okay, well, they ask us to find x. So let's see, this is going to be our hypotenuse. The one across from the right angle is always your hypotenuse. We got A, we've got B. So we can do 11 squared plus x squared equals 61 squared. Let's see, 11 squared is 121 plus x squared equals 3721. Subtract 121. We're going to get x squared equals 3600. Take the square root of that, and we get x equals 60. So there's our answer. Okay, so for this next one, I actually want you to pause the video, try it yourself, and then hit play. So I'm going to count down. By the time I get down to 5, you probably want to have hit pause. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You better pause now. 0. Hopefully you paused and you worked it. So our box isn't where it needs to be, but still, that's our C. There's A, there's B. So we're going to have 24 squared plus x squared equals 51 squared. 24 squared is 576 plus x squared equals 2601. Subtract 576 from both sides. We're going to get x squared equals 2025. Take the square root, and you get x equals 45. So like I said, hopefully when I told you to pause it, you paused it and tried it yourself and you got 45. If you didn't pause it and you just watched me work it, I hope you understand it. Okay, number 3, again, find x and simplify the radical. So let's see, that's going to be my c. I'm going to say that's a, that's b. So we're going to have 8 squared plus x squared equals 16 squared. 8 squared is 64 plus x squared, which is 256. Subtract 64. We're going to get x squared equals 192. Now, if you're like me and you look at 192 and you're like, dude, I don't know what goes into 192. I know it says you got to simplify the radical, but how do I know what goes into 192? Well, it's even, so start with 2. 2 and 81. No, not 81. My bad. Let's see. So let me. 91. No, not 91 either. I'll get it one of these days. 96. There we go. Again, I still don't really know about 96. So I'm going to say 2 and 48. Which is 16 and 3, or 4 and 4. Okay. Now, I want to find any pairs here. So I've got a pair of 2s, got a pair of 4s. And then do I have any singles? Yep, the 3 is a single. So remember, couples go out on a date when we take a square root, because that's really what we're doing here. We're just square rooting both sides. So couples come out. So I'm going to have x equals 2 times 4 times the square root of 3. Well, what is 2 times 4? 8 square roots of 3. Okay, number 4. Find the variables. So we have 2 variables, x and y, that we have to find. Round to the nearest 10th. So remember what I said. We have to start with the triangle that has 2 numbers. We don't want 2 variables. We want 2 numbers. Does this triangle right here have 2 numbers on it? No. Can't use it. Not right now, at least. So we have to use this one. So this 7's across from my right angle, so it's my C. I'm going to do 2 as A, B as Y. So 2 squared plus Y squared equals 7 squared. 2 squared is 4, plus Y squared equals 49. Subtract 4, I get y squared equals 45. If I take the square root of it, it tells me to round to the nearest tenth. So y is equal to, let's see, I don't know that to the nearest tenth. Let me do it. Square root 45. 6.7. Okay, now I can use this 6.7 here for y, but I really don't want to right now. I want to say this whole side is the square root of 45, and you'll see why here in a second. So that means that will be my new c. 5 is a, x is b. So I'm going to have 5 squared plus x squared equals the square root of 45 squared. So we need 25 plus x squared equals 45. Subtract 25. We get x squared equals 20. Take the square root, and what do you get for x? X equals 4.5. Okay, so there's number 4. Number 5 is another one of those two triangle problems. We've got to find y, and we have to find x. So remember what I said. I want to start with the right triangle that has 2 numbers on it. This is the one that's got 2 numbers, so that's the one I'm going to start with. I'm going to do it over here. So that's a right angle. If I look across, that's my C. There's my A. There's my B. So 5 squared plus y squared equals 13 squared. It's going to be 25 plus y squared equals 225. No, where did I get 225 from? What the heck am I thinking? 169. There we go. Subtract 25. I get y squared equals 144. Square root it, and I get y equals 12. So what this tells me is that this side right here is 12. Now, from here to here is 5. And they tell me that these triangles are congruent. These two right here are congruent. So that means that this one is also 5. But what's this whole thing equal to? X plus 5. I don't know x. That's what I have to find is x. So this one's going to look a little complicated, but just bear with me. I promise we'll get an answer. It just looks a little difficult. It's not bad though. So we want to look at this triangle right here. So that means that side is going to be my C, 12 is my A, x plus 5 is my B. So I'm going to have 12 squared plus, I'm going to put the x plus 5 in parentheses and square it, equals 20 squared. 12 squared is 144 plus. Again, I'm just going to leave my x plus 5 in parentheses. Treat it as one big giant x. That's all it is, one big giant x. 20 squared is 400. 400. So subtract 144. We're going to get x plus 5 squared equals 256. Square root both sides. Now the square root and the square cancel. So I'm left with x plus 5 equals, the square root of 256 is 16. I'm still not done yet because I haven't found x. So subtract 5 and I get x equals 11. Whew, all that work. X is 11, y is 12. And I want to draw a line through here to separate these, because that all goes with that problem. Then I'm going to come up here and draw some lines to separate these. Okay, so while I'm sitting here drawing my nice little lines to separate everything, we're done with guided practice. This last problem was a beast, I'll admit it. But don't worry. You won't have one that bad on your assignment. I can promise you that. So with that being said, let's get on with the rest of the assignment. If you have questions, you can ask me somehow, whether it's email, remind, whatever you need to do. Just don't sit there stuck. I didn't know how to do it, so I didn't do it. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help. So talk to y'all later.